Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting with me, Carl Froch.
And me, Rachel Froch. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel.
So this week we've got Rachel in Vision, as you can see. It's not a Q&A as such.
It's not a Q&A?
No, it's you asking the questions.
Why am I here? Oh, okay.
You're here for aesthetic reasons. She's asking the questions like she's just behind the camera, but it's not a Q&A. We've actually got some...
I've got some questions for you,
yeah. There's a Q&A, but we've got a subject to talk about this week. It's not an official Q&A, you know what I mean? Right, let's get on with it.
Right, so first question. What have you made of the reaction to Fury versus Ngannou?
What I've made to it is most people agree that Ngannou won the fight but didn't get the decision. And can I just say, upon revisiting the fight, I watched it back because I'm a consummate professional. When I say something, I like to make sure that I can stand by my convictions with honesty. And I have to say, when I watched it on the night, it looked like Ngannou beat up Fury with dropping him.
Right.
But I think it was the shock factor of Ngannou landing on Fury with that left hook, dropping him, and then it was like, oh, he's dominating, he's on him. But when you watch it back and score it with the volume off, then it's closer. And
okay then.
I'm still going to say Ngannou won the fight because it was, for me, he beat up Fury. I think he won.
Right, okay.
But when you watch it back and score it, you really can make a case for Tyson Fury winning that fight, but only by 1 or 2 rounds. So I'm standing by it, and Ngannou won the fight. I just think watching it back properly and scoring it with a fresh mind the following day, the fight could have gone either way. It depends what you like. Depends whether you like the power punches, the aggression, or whether you like the boxing purist. Tyson was throwing a lot of jabs. He's very skillful. But Tyson, I will just say this: Tyson was not himself. Tyson, whether he took him lightly, whether he had a crap training camp, Tyson was not firing all cylinders. He usually puts together more combination punches. Now, the power of Ngannou up close, manhandling him and pushing him off and not letting...
He was very strong, wasn't he?
Yeah, not letting Fury be able to do his normal thing like he did with Deontay Wilder and loads of previous opponents. He leans on him, gets hold of him, pushes him down, uses that weight. He was nearly 20 stone, and it's a lot of weight. But Ngannou just muscled him up close, got hold of him. And don't forget, he's a mixed martial arts fighter.
Okay,
so when
he
it came close,
listen,
when he's up close, he's not worried. He's comfortable up close. Yeah. He'll take him to the ground and squeeze him tight all night long. You know what I mean? Not in a romantic way. He'll choke him out because he's too strong for him. But thought Ngannou just won. Watching it back, I can make a case for Tyson Fury winning, but Tyson wasn't himself. But anyway.
So on that note then, what next for Ngannou? Who next for Ngannou? Eddie suggested Eddie Hearn, AJ.
Of course he has suggested AJ because that's a massive fight. And is AJ in no man's land at the minute? I mean, he's waiting for the Deontay Wilder fight, which has not happened. We don't know why, but that's a good fight. That's a good call by Eddie Hearn. But Eddie's going to say, let's have AJ. But that's potentially really, really dangerous for... What do you make of Ngannou against Fury? Now, from a non-boxing expert point of view...
a layman's point of view.
What would you say? Fury...
You know what? I think Ngannou is really, really strong. I would say he beats AJ.
Yeah, and a lot of people...
Just from a layman's point of view, kind of looking at them. Although, he's a good boxer, AJ is, isn't he?
He is very good.
He's an Olympian. Champion. Yeah, exactly. So, but I'm going to say Ngannou.
Well, look at the size and strength of Ngannou. Look at the fact that Anthony Joshua is still not mentally there as far as I'm concerned. That one against Helenius proved nothing. Since he's lost to Ruiz, I don't think he's been the same. So to jump in with Ngannou would just give Tyson Fury all he wanted.
Yeah.
You can make an excuse for Fury not being at his best, but he did have a long camp. He did come and try. All right, he might have got shell-shocked. The occasion might have got to him a little bit where he thought he was in for an easy night's work. Then all of a sudden he's getting hit with shots and he's thinking, what's going on?
Yeah.
But he knows what he's doing. He's been in there before.
Yeah.
He's very, very good world champion. Probably one of the best heavyweights at the moment.
Maybe he wasn't himself then.
Yeah, maybe not. But I don't want to make an excuse for Fury for the sake of making an excuse. Okay. Whether it's his best or not. He's been out of the ring for nearly a year.
Yeah.
But Ngannou was out of an ACL reconstruction. He's been out of the ring nearly 2 years. A lot of people didn't know that. Oh. So he's been injured himself. He's back from injury in his first professional fight. Really, Tyson should have whooped him.
Yeah.
Should have been easier. But that aside, the Anthony Joshua Ngannou fight is interesting. Something I'd want to watch, but I don't think he's ready for that yet. One, I don't think AJ's ready for it yet. He might go in there and he might outbox him and beat him because he's an Olympic champion.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of skills. He's shown us time and time again how good he is. But since the Ruiz fight, I'm a bit, like I said before, I've got question marks over his mentality. But I think a fight of Ngannou is brilliant, but Ngannou, I think, needs to be given the opportunity to go in there with Fury again. I feel like if
Yeah,
Fury
because
jumps,
it was so close, then yeah, he deserves that rematch,
yeah,
doesn't he?
I think if Fury jumps straight in there now with Usyk, great fight, it's a fight I want to see. There's too many question marks over his fight with Ngannou. It's like almost Ngannou needs that chance to say, come on, it's 1-1, let's run it back. Sorry, it's 1-0, let's run it back. Everyone thinks I won.
Yeah.
You got the decision. Prove to me that you had a bad night and give me a beating, which is, I don't want to give Ngannou any, I don't want to downplay him, but I think 100% fit and on the ball Tyson Fury, even on the back of that performance, which I thought Ngannou won. I just think if Fury got his mind on it, realizes now he's in a fight, I think the fight will be a lot different, and Fury might just put Ngannou in his place and outclass him.
Yeah, I think you are right. Just on that, Ngannou versus AJ, who do you think will win that fight? I said Ngannou.
Yeah, you know what? Who wins that fight? I'd have to pick AJ to beat Ngannou. I would, just because, again, Ngannou will be making his second professional boxing match.
Yeah.
And Anthony Joshua is a tidy, quality fighter, but there's that mindset issue where if AJ goes in there thinking, bloody hell, he's gone 10 rounds with Tyson Fury. A lot of people think he's won. If AJ's head's not right, I don't think his last 2 or 3 fights will get his head right for the Ngannou fight. So for me, it's a 50-50 match. And I'd like to say Anthony Joshua beats Ngannou, but if I'm honest, the closer that fight draws in and Ngannou gets more sparring, he's going in there with the confidence of the Fury fight, who knows, that fight could go either way. But I'd like to say, I will say, Anthony Joshua beats Ngannou. I'll say it.
Okay.
Because for the sake of boxing, professional boxing.
Do you still want to see the fight with Fury versus Usyk?
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to see that fight with Usyk and Fury, but like I said earlier, I feel like there's unanswered questions now with Tyson Fury. If he jumps straight in there with Usyk on the back of that bit of a crap performance against Ngannou, whether it was a crap performance or whether Ngannou just beat him up and made it hard for him, who knows? But I feel like there's unfinished business with Ngannou. Yeah. So to build into an Usyk fight, I feel like it's tainted.
Do you think he's got a point to prove then with Ngannou?
I do, yeah. I do think he's got a point to prove. If you read all the comments and listen to all the voices, all the experts that are talking about this fight between Fury and Ngannou last week, they still think there's unfinished business. There's a lot of them, most of them think Ngannou won the fight but didn't get a decision. So I do honestly think if they announce Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk was happening in January or February, which I've read a couple of bits about February, I think.
I think it was February, 17th.
17th of February. I'm excited about the fight, but I'm like, well, hang on a bit. What about Ngannou? What about that dodgy performance? What about who's won, who's lost? Let's get that sorted first. Yeah. So definitely a fight I want to see. It's a fight that boxing needs to see, but Ngannou needs take 2 on that fight. And Tyson Fury needs a chance to redeem himself.
Yeah. So just going back then to Fury Usyk, based on Fury's performance, who would you make the favourite out of that fight then? Based on Fury's last performance.
Oh, Fury Usyk.
Yeah.
I've always said that I think Fury's too big for Alexander Usyk. I just think he's too big.
Yeah.
Most people know he's come up from cruiserweight. He's a fantastic fighter, massive talent, massive bags of talent. But I just think that weight division, the weight difference coming up from cruiserweight is about 15 stone when he fights. Tyson Fury was closer to 20 stone. And where I talked earlier about him not being able to lean on Ngannou and negate his work and tire him out, he will be able to do that with Usyk. Because there'll be times when they come together or he gets him on the ropes, Fury gets Usyk on the ropes, or just leans on him in the corner. He's just
bigger and stronger, isn't he? So he'll be able to do that.
I don't think Usyk will be able to cope with that. And AJ never did that to him, never leaned on him.
No.
Derek Chisora got close and personal with Usyk. And he went 12 rounds. A lot of people say he did a better job than what AJ did. Okay. Even though he lost. But it was more of a competitive, close fight. I think Usyk was in first gear. Never really got out of second gear because I think he was trying to show people that, or put this persona that he might struggle at heavyweight.
Oh, okay.
Like a trickery. Okay. I think he's that smart. If I just go steady with Chisora, maybe I'll get the AJ fight, which he did. And then he got the AJ fight and beat him.
And then,
So to answer your question, I think Tyson Fury beats Usyk in a really, really close fight. And if they go in there straight away, Usyk's got more of a chance because Tyson Fury's head's going to be muddled at the minute. His head's going to be gone. He's really pissed off, everyone giving him some disrespect. He doesn't take criticism very well, as we know, banning TalkSport because of things that, Simon Jordan has said and a couple of people who work for TalkSport, probably me as well. Just our honest opinion upsets him because we're not playing to his narrative and towing the Tyson Fury is the best in the world line. I always say Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world at the minute. But for his legacy, he needs to prove that against Alexander Usyk, who beat Anthony Joshua twice. So that's the big fight. There's unfinished business with Ngannou.
So there is a story actually at the moment circulating on social media that Tyson Fury is considering retirement.
Yeah, I don't think that's an option for him.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If he's going to dwell on that win so much, but the fact that everyone thinks it's a loss, if he's going to dwell on that and then retire, then you can sort of see where his mental fragility is coming into play. Which I hope it doesn't. Sincerely, I hope that he's right in there. He seems. I've heard him speaking since, and he seems all right, matter of fact, whatever. On to the next fight, which is good attitude.
Yeah.
But he can't retire on the back of that fight with Ngannou. He just can't. That'd be like me retiring on the back of the win against George Groves. Although I still think Howard Foster did the correct thing when he stopped the fight, split second early before I managed to finish him. But if I was to retire on that fight felt like a loss. The way it had been received, it felt like
terrible.
a loss.
That really was terrible.
Know how bad it was.
Yeah.
I mean, every newspaper we read, the stuff on social media.
You know what, actually, it's probably going to be pretty similar because as we were walking into the changing rooms from the first Groves fight, it was as if you'd lost.
Yeah, it felt like a loss, didn't it?
The whole changing room was really quiet.
What about the abuse I got on the way back to the bloody changing room?
Oh, well, people were throwing things. It was pints, spitting. It was coins, it was spitting, it was horrible stuff. But as we got into that kind of what felt like a really dark, cold changing room, it just felt like a loss.
Everyone was quiet, wasn't
and everyone kind of, you did have people coming in, but we kind of all just sat there and kind of.
I think when you get the response that the crowd had, everyone was booing.
Yeah.
And because the fight was a little bit, it wasn't conclusive, was it? It wasn't conclusive finish because of what happened.
Yeah.
It felt like a loss, and that's a prime example for why I don't think Tyson, because I would not have been able to retire then on the back of that.
No.
Just purely it's unfinished business that needs settling. I mean, that created Wembley Stadium, all them people. That largely led towards the Hall of Fame ring that's on.
Don't say it.
But Tyson Fury will not retire on the back of that.
On the back of that, okay.
He's got to fight Ngannou in a rematch, I think, to put all this down.
To bed, completely.
I think he's got to rematch him.
Yeah.
And I think that has to happen before the Alexander Usyk fight. Unfortunately for Usyk, because Usyk's now on it, calling him out.
He's waiting, isn't he?
Fury said, if you don't fight me on the 23rd of December, whenever it was, I'm going to sue you. You've signed the contract. You're getting sued. This is before the Ngannou fight, to Usyk.
Okay.
And now it suits him. We'll put it back. I need a bit more time. Let me lick my wounds and get over it and then build up for the Usyk fight. But I think it's all a bit messy and a bit sticky. And Eddie Hearn's swooping in and he's just in there. I've got AJ here. He's putting AJ up in here for the...
He's going to though, isn't he? It's his
absolutely.
fighter.
Absolutely. And the AJ and Ngannou fight's a good fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think Tyson Fury retires. And I think the Ngannou fight needs to happen. Is that it? Is that no more questions?
That's it. No more. That is the end.
You might as well just roll it then. You close the show. You enjoyed it?
I know, as always.
You haven't done much.
I haven't spoken very much today, but no.
So
that's okay.
It is Froch on fighting.
I'll let you talk.
Well, actually, you're Froch now, aren't you?
Obviously.
You're Froch. No, I mean, no. I always call accordingly. Because that was you.
Yeah, you like that name, don't you?
I do like that name. For some reason.
That's when you met me.
It
When
was,
you first met me all those years ago.
It's on the front page of the Nuts
15
magazine.
years ago.
Did you miss that?
Yeah, I'm trying to dampen it down. Be quiet.
So anyway, this has been another episode of Froch on Fighting with me, Carl Froch.
And me, Rachel Froch.
Don't forget to hit subscribe, very important. This channel's growing. You're all loving it because you're all sending me positive comments back. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but we're getting such good positive feedback. Even better when Rachel's in vision. I can't think why.
We do love the comments though. We love reading them. Some are absolutely hilarious. I'll just sit in bed and just scroll through, and some I just crack up laughing in bed.
What about the bit when people say we sit and watch my fights together? Froch putting his fights on.
That was me.
Now you're sitting in bed going through the comments. Yeah. We do actually have a better life than just sitting looking through comments and watching boxing videos. But anyway, thanks for subscribing and see you next time.
We'll see you next week.